Hey guys, it is XCKJ here today, and we're going to be talking about how to climb in rank. Today we are going to be taking 5 tips for winning more games in ranked, so that way you guys can get out of silver, gold, platinum, even diamond. Just getting into those master ranks. These tips are helpful for anybody, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. But before we do, please consider subscribing and liking the video. It helps out a lot. It takes me a long time to make these videos, and I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump right into the first tip, which is play with intention. This helps with all other aspects on this list as well, but it also is its standalone tip. So when thinking about playing with intention, you think about the pros and cons of the play that you're about to make. What exactly are you going to be doing? Why are you going to be doing that? Don't just do it. Think about, what is it that I'm going to benefit from doing this play if I make this play? So many times, you see a flank player, an off-tank player, even damages walking up to the point, walking into the back line. They're like, oh, they see somebody, they're going to go after them and kill them. But, you want to think in your head, what is the risk-reward of me possibly doing this in this situation? If I die, are we going to end up losing the point? If I win this, are we going to end up winning the point? Can I even win this? Is this a 1v3? Things like that. Things that seem simple, but when you're getting into the lull of just playing Paladins over and over again, like going in, playing a game, ending the game, queuing up for the next game, playing the game, queuing up for the next game. Once you get into that lull, sometimes we don't play with intention. So playing with intention is just super important. Anyway, we're going to move on to tip number 2. Know when to ult. Knowing when to ult is huge, guys. I see so many people ulting at just terrible times. We're on 1-0 with 10 seconds left, and I see an Ashe just pull out a huge ult, just drop it down, and it ends up not being helpful at all. The point's nowhere close to being pushed all the way in, and we now are down one more ult for the next round when it's 1-1. So here's some things that you should know is when pushing the payload, tanks should ult by 1 minute and 45 seconds. If you're down to 1 minute already, you should hold your ult. That way you have it for the next point. Or you can get it back. The 145 is basically with 1 minute and 45 seconds left, you will be able to get your ult back again for the next point, hopefully. For everyone else, the time will be 1:30. So whether you're playing flanks, damages, healers, 1:30 is about the time that you want to be popping your ult. It takes a little bit longer for tanks to charge them. After that time, typically in most scenarios, just save your ult for the next point, or in some scenarios to put it in, which I'm going to go over right now. What to do when you're 0-1. So the enemy team is about to push it in, and they used all of their ults to push it in. Of course, what you guys want to do is hold all your ults, so that way you guys have 5 ults and comeback mechanic, because now you're in an 0-2 situation. Another thing is what to do when it is 3-0. So your team is winning, for instance, and you push it in. You were 2-0, and now you're 3-0, and you're pushing the point in, and you have 10 seconds left, and it's about to go in. In this situation, you should probably ult, and the reason why you want to ult here is because risk and reward. Your reward is you might win the game. Your risk is you have no more ults, they cap the point, and now they have 2 points. They're not going to win the game off of capping the point. Even if they push it in, they're not going to win the game off of pushing the point. So it is worth the risk and reward to still use your ult in that situation. Things like that are just good to learn with your ult and kind of figure out exactly how you want to do it. Some teams do like to ult for the 2-0, and if they're about to push it in, they'll use up their ults and just get it to be 2-0. Try to get a swift 4-0, especially if there's a bot on the enemy team or something like that. But take it case by case on exactly how you want to ult and when you want to ult, and I think that you guys will be able to figure it out pretty simply, especially if you are playing the game with intention. You see what I did there? Anyway, going on to our third tip is try and help your teammates, guys. Don't get mad at your teammates. I see so many people, their teammate is... The way Paladins matchmaking works, I'll go over this first. The way Paladins matchmaking works is it gives you a diamond and a diamond, a platinum and a platinum, a gold and a gold. There's one other person on the team that is equal to that person's rank, or at least it tries to do something like that. So, sometimes, even in diamond, I'll have a low gold player in my game, or I would hate to think this, maybe even a silver player, who knows. And sometimes with that, you know, they're playing in the elo that they are in. They are playing as you would expect a low gold or a silver player to be playing. Nothing against them, but you know, we're in completely different elos. And I see so many times people just get absolutely mad at them, start yelling at them, you know, telling them that they suck and all that kind of stuff. When honestly, if you're nice to them, respectful to them, and you say, hey, you're doing a good job, you could be doing a few things better maybe, and then tell them what to do. Don't just say, hey, you're trash, kid. Like, actually tell them what to do, and it'll actually help you win more ranked games. Because believe it or not, when you're mean to people, they tend to get pretty sassy back to you, and then next thing you know, they're trolling, they're just trying to play damage, or even they're under a lot of stress now, and they just can't play as well as they would be able to play if you were like, hey, maybe just try, if let's say they're healing, for instance, and you're on Splitstone Quarry or something, you just tell them to, oh, just hang back a little bit, maybe stand by the stairs and heal from there. I don't know, you know, just trying to help out your team and just figure out exactly what needs to happen, just to really get your team to catch that dub. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and also another thing to mention is if you genuinely just don't know what they should be doing, just don't say anything, or maybe just say, hey guys, let's try this strategy that I saw work one time. Like, if you don't know exactly what they can be doing in order to play better, or you don't know who it is, it might even be you, perhaps. Usually 9 times out of 10, the guy who's yelling and just going like insane, he's the worst one on the team. He's feeding, he doesn't even know what's going on. He's just spamming that he needs healing and that the tanks need to move up, or that you know, something crazy needs to happen. I don't know. But anyway, don't be that guy that's just yelling in your ranked games. We've all been there before because we get frustrated sometimes. But really try your best to try and help teammates, and trust me, you will win more games. So many times I have like helped out. I can even think a lot of times it's like healers and tanks, people that just got filled from like last. If you help them out, you guys will have great success, I think. Okay, going on to the 4th tip: learn to fill. I suggest to learn 3 champions at least for every role before you start playing in ranked. And the reason why I suggest this is because there's banning, there's picking, and you don't want to have a bad team of 3 damages and 2 tanks with then no healer because you said, well, I don't know how to play any healers because all I do is play flank. You don't want to be that guy. Nobody wants to be that guy. So I really highly suggest that you just learn 3 champions from every role. So that way, if you're a last pick or anything like that, or your team just needs a flex pick or a really strong meta pick, you can fill in and really help carry the team and not suck in that position. It took me, for instance, one example that I have, even like learning just 3 meta champions. For a long time, I did not know how to play Terminus. I knew how to play Terminus, but I was not a good Terminus player, and I would never play him in ranked, and I was scared to. So I took the time, I learned how to play Terminus, and now I'm able to play him in ranked, and I'm very comfortable on him, and honestly, it's helped out a ton of times, especially right now in the meta where there's only 3 point tanks. I kind of had to get forced to learn Terminus, and it really just helps the team. Another thing about learning to fill is if you are last pick, it means that everyone else ahead of you is most likely better than you. So let them, if they say, oh, here, does anybody want a tank? I'm going to play damage. Then don't just be quiet and hope that they pick a tank and then you could just pick a damage and never say anything or something like that. Just pick the tank, because honestly you'll probably end up winning because of that, because chances are if they're ahead of you, the reason why they're ahead of you is because they're better than you. They are a higher elo than you. And yeah, so just trust in them, trust in your team, and yeah, trust me guys, you can easily carry the games playing as tanks, playing as healers. I play off tank as my main role because I genuinely think it is the hardest carry, not hardest to play role, it is the hardest carry role in the entire game. A really good off tank will completely change the way that the game is played, and your team will have so much pressure. So just knowing things like that, yeah, not just damages or flanks are able to carry the game. Everyone has a role in carrying the team. And then that brings me to the 5th tip, which is learn a main role and stick with it. But XC, dude, you literally just said learn to fill. I know I said learn to fill, but maining a role for a while will help you learn how to optimize that role. It'll teach you how to move, how to position, where to position, who to attack, where you want to be applying pressure on all the maps. Learning a main role will really help your gameplay improve just tremendously. So, for instance, in this game, I'm playing a flank. I'm genuinely not that great of a flank at all. Like, compared to how I am when I'm playing tank, like, I am a mediocre flank at best. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm playing flank. I want to get better at it. It's one of the roles I've always just shied away from because everybody usually wants to flank in a lot of my ranked games. So I'll just play healer, tank, damage, something like that. But yeah, it allows you to focus on your gameplay when your champion is muscle memory. When your champion is muscle memory, it allows you to focus on your gameplay. You can focus on what needs to be done. But anyway, that is my 5 tips. Just going back over them again. Playing with intention, knowing when to ult, try and help teammates, learn to fill, and learn a main role and stick with it are my 5 tips for how you can climb in ranked. And let me know, did I miss anything? What are other tips that you guys want to share with other people? Help each other win more games. If you got something from this video, make sure to sub to the channel. Leave a like. It's free. It helps a lot for YouTube to recommend the videos to others. Have a great day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.